Assalamu alaikum class. This is our 11th lecture. The topic is about ozone controversy. Let's start with the basic definition. What is ozone layer? Well, ozone layer or ozone shield is a region of Earth's uh, stratosphere that absorbs most of the sun ultraviolet radiation. It contains a high concentrations of ozone in relation to other parts of the atmosphere, although still small in relation to other gases in the stratosphere. The ozone layer is a thin part of the Earth's atmosphere that absorbs almost all of the sun harmful ultraviolet light. Ozone holes are popular names for areas of damage to the ozone layer. This is inaccurate. Ozone layer damage is more likely a really thin patch than a hole. The ozone layer was discovered in 1913 by the French Charles Fabry and Harry Buisson. The ozone layer absorbs 97 to 99% of the sun medium frequency ultraviolet light from above 200 nm to 315 nm wavelength, which otherwise would potentially damage exposed life forms near the surface. The United Nations General Assembly has designated September 16 as the International Day for the preservation of the ozone layer. Next is about why ozone layer is necessary. Why ozone layer is necessary? An essential property of ozone molecule is its ability to block solar radiations of wavelength less than 290 nanometers from reaching Earth's surface. In this process, it also absorbs ultraviolet radiation that are dangerous for most living beings. UV radiations could injure or kill life on Earth. Through the observation of UV radiation warms the stratosphere, but it is important for life to flourish on planet Earth. Research scientists have anticipated destruction of susceptible uh, terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem due to the depletion of ozone layer. Ultraviolet radiation could destroy the organic matter. Plants and plants cannot thrive. Both act as a food for land and sea animals, respectively. For humans, excessive exposure to ultraviolet radiation leads to the higher risk of cancer, especially skin cancer and cataracts. It is calculated that every 1% decrease in ozone layer results in 2 to 5% increase in the occurrence of skin cancer. Other ill effects of the reduction of protective ozone layer include increase in the incidence of cataracts, sunburns, and suppressions of the immune system. Okay, if we move forward, next is causes of ozone layer depletion. Well, the ozone layer depletion is major concern and it is associated with number of factors. The main causes responsible for the depletion of the ozone layer are listed below, like chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs are the main cause of ozone layer depletion. These are released by solvents, spray, aerosols, refrigerators, air conditioners, etc. The molecules of the chlorofluorocarbons in the stratosphere are broken down by the ultraviolet radiations and release chlorine atoms. The atoms react with ozone and destroy it. Next is unregulated rocket launches. Research says that the unregulated launching of rockets resulting in much more depletion of ozone layer than the CFCs do. If not controlled, this might be result in the huge loss of the ozone layer by the year of 2050. Next is nitrogenous compounds. The nitrogenous compounds such as NO2, NO, N2O are highly responsible for the depletion of the ozone layer. And last is natural causes. The ozone layer has been found to be depleted by certain natural processes such as sunspots, stratospheric winds, but it does not cause more than 1 to 2% of the ozone layer depletion. Next topic is main ozone depleting substance. First is chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons CFCs it's billed as the most extensively utilized ozone depleting substance because it attributes to more than 80% of overall ozone depletion. It is utilized as a coolant in home appliances like freezers, refrigerators, and air conditions. Second is hydrofluorocarbons. Hydrofluorocarbons have over the years served the place of chlorofluorocarbons. They are not as harmful as CFCs to ozone layer. Third is halogens. It is especially it's specially used in selected fire extinguisher in scenarios where the equipment or material could be devastated by water or devastated by water or extinguisher chemicals. Next is carbon tetrachloride, also used in selected fire extinguishers extinguishers and solvents. Next, fifth one is methyl chloroform, commonly utilized in industries for cold cleaning, paper degreasing, uh, chemical processing, adhesives, and some aerosols. Next is there is some serious effects of ozone depletion. First one is damage to the human health. If the ozone layer is depleted, that means humans will overly exposed to strong UV light. Overexposure to strong UV light causes skin cancer. Strong UV light causes skin cancer, cataracts, sunburns, weakening of the immune system, and quick aging. The next is the devastation to the environment. Many crop species are vulnerable to strong UV light, and overexposure may well lead to minimal growth, photosynthesis, and flowering. Some of the crop species vulnerable to UV light include barley, wheat, corn, oats, rice, broccoli, tomatoes, cauliflower, just to name a few. Just to name a few. Uh, Forests equally bear the burden of ozone depletion. Next is the threat of marine life. Certain marine lives, especially plankton, is greatly impacted by the exposure to strong ultraviolet rays. In the aquatic food chain, planktons appear high up. If planktons decrease in the number due to ozone layer destruction, the marine food chain would be disrupted in many ways. Also, overexposure of the sun rays could reduce the proteins of fishes. On top of that, certain species of marine life have been greatly affected by overexposure to ultraviolet radiation at their early stage. Fourth is effect on animals. In in domesticated animals, too much ultraviolet radiation could also lead to skin and eye cancer. Next, fifth one is impact certain materials. Like materials like plastics, wood, fabrics, rubber are massively degraded by too much ultraviolet radiations. Okay, if we move towards solution, what we can do or how we can minimize ozone depletion. First one is that desist from using pesticides. Pesticides are great chemicals to rid your farm of pests and weeds, but they contribute enormously to ozone layer depletion. The Sunfire solution to get rid of pests and weeds is to apply a natural method. Just weed your farm manually and use alternative eco-friendly chemicals to alleviate pests. Second one is discourage driving of private vehicles. The easiest technique to minimize ozone depletion is to limit the number of vehicles on the road. These vehicles emit a lot of greenhouse gases that eventually form smoke, catalyst in the depletion of the ozone layer. Third one is utilize environmental friendly cleaning products. Like most household cleaning products are loaded with harsh chemicals that find way to the atmosphere, eventually contributing to the degradation of the ozone layer. Use natural and environmental friendly cleaning products to arrest this situation. Fourth one is the use of harmful prohibit the use of harmful nitrous oxide. The Montreal Protocol formed in 1989 helped a lot in the limitation of chlorofluorocarbons. Government must take action now and outlaw nitrous oxide to use nitrous oxide used to reduce the rate of ozone depletion. Okay, next, if we see some statistics or some research about related to Pakistan about ozone controversy. Pakistan is ratified the Vienna Convention, the Montreal Protocol, the London Amendment in 1992. If you can see the history. Okay, the ozone cell was established in the Ministry of Environment in 1996 for the implementation of the Montreal Protocol. Country programmer was approved in 1996 and subsequently updated in 2003 as a party to the Montreal Protocol. Pakistan, in cooperation with other countries, is phasing out the consumption of ozone depletion substances in an effort to safeguard the ozone layer. Pakistan is not ODS producing country but imports a few such uh, hazardous substances to meet its domestic needs. Pakistan has provided financially and technical assistance to various enterprises for phasing out the use of ODS and switching over to the ozone-friendly technology in the collaboration with the Implement Agency, World Bank Unit and UNDP through multilateral fund for the implementation of the Montreal Protocol. CAP UNP provides compliance assistance to Pakistan. Based on that data, they recommend some future plans on recommendation. Let's see future plans. Monitoring of ozone profiles over the country, studied on atm- atmospheric chemistry in relation to ozone layer depletion and climate change. Participate in the international intercomparison of Dobson's spectrophotometer, uh, Bayer spectrophotometer, and ozone sound, development biological system to monitor UVBs, research on impact of UVB on human health and ecosystem, and develop climate methods to predict the climate change over Pakistan. And in the last here is some needs and recommendation. UV monitoring network, satellite-based UV monitoring network can be useful to observe the distribution of the solar UV insolation over a large area and its seasonal dependence. Ozone research talent pool. Pakistan has most developing countries uh, desperately need some sort of human resource talent pool motivating the young talent for ozone research. Therefore, a strategy may be evolved at South Asia ozone network level, at least to encourage scientific talent in these countries for ozone research, ozone related research. Next is training of ozone research managers. Since ozone research is not of much interest for corporate business companies, therefore there are least opportunity for training in frontier technologies in ozone research. Therefore, a periodic research training fellowship is needed to be offered developing countries so that appropriate skilled researchers pool can be built in developing countries. Next is training of ozone research. This is, I guess, repeated. Yeah. Next is monitoring stations. It will be useful and necessary to set up few monitor stations in the country. These stations can be also linked to the global network of monitoring stations so that researchers can exchange global data information for their further decision or take actions. Bilateral assistance. Developed countries may consider having bilateral assistance programs with developing countries to strengthen ozone and UV monitoring and research systems so that they can minimize the ozone depletion and respond those problems as well. Okay, yeah, that's it. This was our last topic of this chapter. Okay, class. That's it about today lecture. Uh, I hope you got it overall. Uh, anyway, still, if you have any queries, you can ask me. You can email me. Uh, see you class in next lecture, and please focus on your midterm or sorry assignments and final thing. You need to work hard. So good luck, stay home, stay safe, and probably next lecture will be our physical class in physical class. So see you in next lecture. Allah Hafiz.